What's going on, family? New day, new beginnings. Before we get started, hit that like and share button and subscribe to Truthtrtube. As you can see by the thumbnail, valid insights. We heard the whole thing with Corey Holcomb, calling his daughter the B word. He saying certain things that a lot of people have took issues with. Me myself, I didn't take issues with it. Being a man, a masculine man who was taught not to take disrespect from your kids, don't matter male or female. So when he said those things, I kind of understand all his points because that's just how life is. That's how some of these kids are raised. They're raised to disrespect a lot of the black fathers. And some of us may take the disrespect, but there's a lot of us who are not going to take the disrespect. So him calling his daughter the bitch, the B word, I didn't give two shits about it because I don't know their relationship, but being a man who been in that position before, yes, your kids shouldn't be disrespecting you. Especially if you do things for them. But at a young age, a lot of these women, not the men, a lot of these women take the kids aside and start teaching them from an early age how to disrespect a man, mainly their father. And that's something that I truly look down on. Like I said, if a man is not doing what he's supposed to do, it's different. But when you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man and you're still getting disrespected, getting talked to all types of ways, men, us as men, we reach our breaking point. No matter what it is, we reach our breaking point. And based on how Corey was speaking, he was at a breaking point. He had enough. And I think when you read the comments and everything, the comments are mostly from women, and you could tell it's from little moist dudes, you know, because real men been through that shit. We seen it all. I mean, I ain't see it all, but I've been through it. That's when if you talk to an older guy in regards to what Corey said, they're like, yeah, that's normal because they know the disrespect these kids are taught from an early age towards their fathers. My father has told me when you in when you in when you're in issues with the mother, don't never say nothing bad about the mother. Let the kids figure out. If they never figure it out, you just leave it alone because the kids eventually gonna come back at an older age, try to seek guidance, and that's when you don't give them none. He always say, "Oh, go listen to the woman who taught you all the bad ways that you have now that you can't get nowhere in life." He always told me that. So when you hear something of that magnitude, and he's not the only one that told me that, but when you hear something of that magnitude in regards to men's stories, it's always the same thing. Now, some men, they full of shit. We know. We know they're full of shit. But this is for the men who do what they gotta do. If I have beef with your moms, you shouldn't have beef with me. If your moms have beef with me, you shouldn't have beef with your mom. The kids are always neutral in every situation, but that's the is one species on earth who always want the kids on their side. And I think that's the disrespectful thing. That's why I usually don't get along with men who was raised with mothers only, single mothers. I don't really get along with them dudes, you know, because I noticed something with them. They got a feminine side to them, you know, and they're a little bitchy. You know, when I hang out with dudes, and I know dudes who had their fathers and their mothers in their lives, those are cool dudes. But if I know there's a man who's raised by a single mother, I try to keep my distance. The same thing. If it's a woman I'm dealing with and I find out she was raised by a single woman, that's it. Did I make my mistakes? Yes. And I live with them. But when it comes to certain situations now, as an older guy, you could do two things. You could try to steer young kids away from those issues. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna still get into it, or you could just keep your mouth shut and let them learn and live and learn. But what Corey said, I'm not going to cancel him, and I agree with him. I stand with him because, like I said, no kid should be speaking down or disrespecting their mother or their father. But that comes with certain issues. Your beef is not my beef, and my beef is not your beef. Now, segue. This whole Charleston White speaking on Blueface and Chrisean baby. Look, the problem is same thing with Corey. People dislike the messenger, so they try to overlook the message. When I heard the first video, I understood what Charleston was saying, but everybody say Charleston a troll, which he is. So people thought he was probably just being jokey, being disrespectful to the two individuals, and being disrespectful to the baby. But he wasn't. He was speaking facts in what he was saying. Because throughout this whole ordeal, since them two met each other, it had been constant drama. Constant drama. And clearly you could not see, but you could see that all that constant drama, affected that little baby in the womb. And you could see it. So when Charleston was saying that, I knew where he was headed. But we live in this day and age where no one wants valid insight in regards to anything of substance. Anything that's going to benefit the people or the community. Yes, he was making some little jokes inside, but clearly you could see that he's kind of right. And what's weird about it is that no one's going to say anything of that magnitude. They just going to, that child, how you can say it, that child was conceived in chaos. And I feel sorry for the kids. Every kid that's conceived in chaos, I feel sorry for. And the reason why I feel sorry for them is because in life we can't choose our parent. We can't choose our parent. And that's the bad thing about it. We can't choose our parents. Because them two fuckers, they shouldn't be having sex. They shouldn't be procreating. But we in a day and age where that's acceptable and is kind of mandatory. But then later on, Charleston he didn't walk it back, but he slowed down everything for y'all. Y'all don't. I know a lot of people don't see a lot of things because emotions cloud their vision. And I've been saying this for the longest. Think with logic. Remove the emotion and think with logic. Because when you include emotion in any conversation, things don't get done. Things are taken out of context. But when you listen logically to a conversation, the conversation is totally different. And I think in this day and age, we don't think that way no more. And that's why society likes it. They like people who think emotionally and not logically. Because the ones who think logically is a threat on a small scale or a big scale. We're all a threat. The emotional ones, feed them to the prison system, feed them to the credit card company. They know the outcome of people who think emotional, but they also know the value that a logical person holds on the people's mind. So I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about Charleston White because people talk shit about him. Let me tell you something. He's a funny guy. He may troll, but 9 times out of 10, what he talk about is 100% on point. So stop trying to cancel the messenger and listen to his message or her message. Because we're in a day and age where everybody don't want the message. They want the messages canceled and they don't want to hear the message. But they'll go listen to a messenger that does not have their whole, they don't have the ability to speak good. We in this day and age where right is wrong and wrong is right. And a lot of people like to listen to the people who are wrong and neglect the people who's right. But family, hit that like and share button and subscribe to Truthtrtube. Thank you.